While there's no official kickoff to the election season, I'm just going to go ahead and say this is one of those hallmarks because the first of many Trump psyops have dropped and people are making the obvious allusions, that of which I will as well, to simply drive home the point that this right here, this is what the media is going to be doing for a very, very long time. And frankly, just like other situations that we're seeing right now, it's just not going to work out well for them again this time. But you have NBC, CBS, Rolling Stone. This is just a small screenshot of the many different publications that decided to run with the whole Trump said there's going to be a bloodbath if he loses the election. And I was thinking, it's like, are people actually that dumb that are out there? Okay. And that's even leaking over to the once great Drudge Report, who is now just, I don't know, kind of descended into left-wing lunacy by parroting this exact same point. Trump warns of a bloodbath if he's not elected. But it's like, okay, cool. Those are just the mouthpieces, right? I didn't actually think that there were going to be so many stupid people actually believe this. Is there any way that anybody could take this at face value and not understand that you guys are being had once again? How many times do you need to have the context be clipped out of a grander speech, shown that context, be proven a liar, but then double down on your same ideology that always runs you back around to falling for this exact same trap? Like, you got, all these same people clipping and hashtagging, running the exact same narrative. Oh, he's threatening violence once again. So it's permeated the media. It has permeated social media, alternative media. And then you have the talking heads driving it home, but we'll circle back around to this one in order to keep on theme, right? But just going to see what the Biden campaign has to say about this. Oh my God, like, you guys are wading into this type of hysterics that only make you look stupid, okay? But, you're running Joe Biden as your candidate. How could you not look stupid? But the Biden-Harris campaign statement on Trump promising a bloodbath if he loses. Tonight, Donald Trump said there would be a bloodbath if he wasn't elected, and that he lost. There'd be no more elections. After opening the general election by meeting with authoritarian leaders and rallying alongside conspiracy theorists, Donald Trump continues to praise dictators, promise to pardon political violence, and launch racist attacks against black and brown Americans. What in the blue hell are you talking about? That's why last night, Trump's own former Vice President Mike Pence, somebody who's a bastion of really smart political and savvy political instincts, who Trump supporters called to hang, oh my God, for not overturning the election, came out against Trump. Like, I'm seeing a lot of parroting the exact same talking points, but I'm not really seeing a bunch of context. I'm not even seeing the clip. All we have is Trump bloodbath. If he loses another election, we're basically just going to see the same thing happen again. And heaven forbid if he does win, in the words of Robert De Niro when he was on with stupid ass Bill Maher, he's gonna put me in a cage, and Bill, he's gonna do it to you too. You'll see it. We have to stop him right now. Thanks, Bob. Very smart, very insightful. But Biden Communications Director Michael Taylor goes on with his former communications director, the press secretary Jen Psaki, to spew disinformation. Tyler says Trump's bloodbath remark was an endorsement of political violence. Tyler backs up the hoax with the other hoax that Trump called people very fine people. But the reason that this is getting so much traction, at least my belief behind this, is that the media has done this time and time again. Yes, pointing out the verified people of both sides, pointing that out as the obvious hoax. This is very analogous to that. But then also, Trump says he's going to call for violence. We have been telling you for the past 4 years, he is the guy who instigated an insurrection. So of course, it's in his playbook. It's in his go-to. So that's probably why this is getting so much traction. But at least this time around, guys, like everybody knows, For the vast majority of people, you know that the very fine people hoax is just that. Because Trump would follow up that line by saying, yes, except for, the incorrigible people, they should be condemned completely and fully. Tend to leave that part out. And then, of course, yes, the endorsement of political violence, of course, we're alluding to January 6th, right? Where how many people died? Oh, no, we don't want to talk about the person that actually died that day, but we also, in line with what Biden was saying here, he wants another January 6th. Oh, right, another January 6th where you had a bunch of people lie about it. Driver of the beast on January 6th testified to the January 6th committee. We never heard about this part of the testimony for the committee, that President Trump never physically assaulted Secret Service agents or lunged at the steering wheel when they refused to take him to the Capitol. This was the chief claim that a lying former White House aide, Cassidy Hutchins, had made in her June 2022. That was all the way back. That was in 2022. Whole 18 months ago, huh? Testimony to the January 6th committee. Yeah, how much of January 6th was a total fabrication? How much of it was a lie? Why do people continue to fall for the nonsense? And this one's not going to stick this time, because even Elon Musk is tweeting this stuff out this time around, okay? I've got the clip. We're going to play the clip because I think it's important to give this full context so you're better prepared for the obvious parroting of this. He wants a bloodbath talking point, so let's go.
Unbelievable when I see it, I see it going. But I got to know all these people. They're very smart, very streetwise, and I would do the same thing.
Okay, so what's he talking about to begin with? Okay, to just set this up, he had a campaign. Yeah, obviously you can see right there, he's got a campaign event, Dayton, Ohio. What's in Dayton, Ohio? A whole lot of whole lot of former manufacturing jobs in the auto industry as well. So he's addressing people, hardworking Americans in the Midwest, in a state that he won by 9 points in the 2020 election. And oh boy, you don't think he's going to be getting a much larger lead in November of this year too? Especially if this is going to be ground zero for the first of many psyops. Oh, yes, of course. But that's the setup on this one, okay?
If I had prisons that were teeming with MS-13 and all sorts of people that they've got to take care of for the next 50 years, right? Young people.
Oh, yes, and that's the other part, okay? The Biden, he's launching an attack on black and brown people. What, illegal immigrants, illegal aliens coming across the southern border that you don't want to do anything about, Joe? Fantastic. Or the crazy stuff that's happening over in Haiti right now, and so many idiots wanting to bring them across the border as well. Listen, yeah, we kind of, well, we don't want to say specifically who, but we kind of messed this stuff up. And, they're just so poor, and in the words of Wolf Blitzer, they're just so poor and so black that we need to help them out. No, Trump, being one of these weird guys who wants to put America first. I know that there's a big caveat next to that one, a big 6-pointed star caveat, but for the most part, not talking about that specifically, but we can't, not address the elephant with a tiny hat in the room. In the grand scheme of things, yeah, he wants to close the southern border and stop the influx of illegal aliens. That's the attack on brown and black people. Go to hell. You liars. You're all liars.
People, they're in jail for years, and if you call them people, I don't know if you call them people. In some cases, they're not people, in my opinion, but I'm not allowed to say that because the radical left says that's a terrible thing to say.
And see, they immediately, it's so funny, right? They tried to get him on that clip, and he knew they were going to try to get him on that clip, and he set it up by just his follow-up line, but it doesn't matter, man.
They say you have to vote against him because did you hear what he said about humanity? I've seen the humanity, and these are bad, these are animals, okay? And we have to stop it. Bad. We can't have another Lakin. We have so many people. We have so many people being hurt so badly and being killed. They're sending their prisoners to see us. They're bringing them right to the border, and they're dropping them off, and we're allowing them to come in. And these are tougher than anybody we've got in the country.
They're traversing several countries, and they have an expressed purpose of coming over, securing all of the cash and prizes they've all been afforded during the Biden regime, not being turned away. There's no deleterious efforts being put forward. They're not being turned back. For repeat offenders, they're not being jailed and incarcerated. They're not being deterred in any form or fashion. So that's also what Trump is talking about. They're tough because they continue to keep on coming. Anyways.
These are hardened criminals. and we've got hundreds of thousands of them, and we're not going to take it. We're just not going to take it. They are destroying our country. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
He's the worst president we've ever had and the most incompetent president we've ever had. And he's also the most crooked president we have ever had. Now, other than that, I think he's doing an excellent job. Do we agree?
Oh, my God. But no. Instead of listening to the follow-up statements, what's the media running with in classic fashion? Well, here we are.
I get elected. Now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole... That's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That'll be the least of it.
There you go. There you go, right there, in real time, in 4K. But no, you can find multiple examples. Sunday night talk shows running with it. Trump calls for a bloodbath. But no, this stuff ain't working this time around. This is the first of many, so we're going to have to stay diligent. There we go. Throughout the rest of this year, we've been waiting. We've been waiting for political season to start. And that right there, well, that's the unofficial kickoff. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.